So I've been living and streaming out of this van for about a month now with my family, and this has probably been the best campsite. It's super cute, it's very personal. We're essentially on someone's farm. It's super quiet, and the weather, it's just lovely. It's windy, but it's hot and it's cool at the same time. This is like picturesque British countryside. Now we're starting this video off on the roof of the van, and there is absolutely no reason why. I'm hoping the audio is going to be okay. As you can see, it's kind of windy. I got the floof on the Rode mic, eating my chin. But it's just a great day. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about uprating your van. Now, the previous video we posted was about getting your license, getting your C1 or C1 plus E, whatever you want to do, essentially allowing you to drive a vehicle above the 3.5 ton weight. Now, one of you guys pointed out that although you have your license, it doesn't mean you can then put your van to 10 tons and drive a 10 ton crafter. You still have to stick within the abilities of the van, and that comes down to the suspension, the wheels, the alloys, the brakes. This is a lot of things to take into consideration. So in the previous video, when I was showing you your weights on the van, the main thing you're really looking for is the rear axles and the front axles. So you would have seen on ours, it said 2.1 and 2.1. That means we can have a combined weight of 4,200. Now this is what I've been told. I'm sure some of you guys will tell me different, but this is what I've been told. So if we were to uprate the van's load, we can do it legally and within the confines of this van to 4.2. Now what we have done on our van, we haven't changed the brakes. We have put better alloys on, so not the stock ones, we've put better ones. They bloody better be, I'll pay a lot of money for them. And then we've gone from a single leaf spring to a triple leaf spring. Now I'll show you the leaf springs in a minute. But before we get into all of that, I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a tour on the roof of our van. Haven't done many van tours yet. Sorry for grabbing the mic. So, this is our solar panels. Currently covered in bird poop from our previous location. That's a job for today to clean them. But we've got a 300 watt and a 300 watt. So we've got rough, I think it comes out to about 580, but 600 watts of solar. Now this has taken up a lot of space on the roof. As you can see, it's on the pop top, so we don't have an air vent, we don't have a fan, a max air fan, a big enough one. We also don't have a skylight, so it gets kind of dark within the van, but we have a lot of juice when it comes to the sun. Now, in an ideal world, I would have gone 3 sideways, which I still hoped we could have done, but we've got 2, so we would have got to a combined maybe 900 watts. That would have been perfect, because at the moment I'm pulling in roughly on an average sunny day like 200 to 400 watts, and when I'm using the computer in the back, it's pulling about 400 or 500. So I'm always slowly draining, and then when we get a non-sunny day, it's sitting at like 100. So that's playing on my mind. It's something that if you guys are building a gaming van, realistically you want about 1,000 watts on the roof if you're having a full-size PC in the van, purely because of the juice, and that means you can stay off grid and game off grid as long as you want. We've got an awning there. Now I'm going to be changing the awning to a 4-meter awning, and the reason being, if you can see, I'll try not to fall off the roof, that the door, when the door slides open, it's in line with this leg. Now you can open the awning and just put the leg on the floor, but what I really wanted to do was put the leg on the side of the van, and the reason behind that is I I don't really have a reason. I just like it being on the van. So we're not on the floor. Now, some campsites, when you're talking about awnings, they're typically talking about like the covers that come off the side of the van, not these kind of awnings. But if you're completely self-sufficient, you're on the van, you're not putting anything on the floor, it just feels a bit better. On the other side, we have the ladder. I've got an axe in there, and we have a shovel, just in case. Now, the plan for the winter is to head up to Scotland and do a winter up there, so potentially getting snowed in. So we've got a bit of a shovel there, and an axe for some firewood if we need it. Then we have 3 front runner boxes at the moment. I'm going to get a 4th one so we can sit 4 there. Tobias did say just get 4, but I was like, I'll get 3 because then the wind goes up and over. But I haven't done it that way, so we're going to get a 4th box. A gift from Tobias as well. We've got 2 jerry cans there. Now I'm thinking, if possible, I don't know if it's possible, but put the jerry cans either on the back doors or on the side of the van. And the reason being is I can then put either a paddleboard on the roof or 2 paddle boards, or I saw some guys yesterday foiling, and it looked insane. So I'd have to do some water sports and stuff, but just clear a bit of space on the roof so we've got somewhere to stand, but also the paddle boards. And then finally the Starlink. You guys have seen this already, but I strapped this in just to kind of give it a bit of tension in the wind. Obviously I haven't cleaned the poo off yet. And then there's our bracket. So this was a marine bracket where we've had powder coated. You pull that up, stow the Starlink, and then the Starlink will lay flat. So it's relatively safe unless someone comes along with the tools to take it off. And then at the back and the sides we have the CCTV. Right, let's jump down. I'll show you the leaf springs and I'll show you the weights on the side of the van. Okay, so the first thing I'll show you is the leaf springs. Now, the easiest way to show you really is just here. So you can see here, 1, 2, 3. That essentially means it's a triple leaf spring. There's a view there as well, 1, 2, 3. When we got the van, and I'm a real novice at this, so please don't judge me, but when we got the van, it was a single. When we got the triple put on, it essentially raised the weight. Now, this doesn't mean that you can then carry 1,000,000 tons. It just raises the ride height. So when you put more weight in it, it's not sitting on the wheel, or it just essentially helps it. I think it will obviously allow you to carry a little bit more, but in reality, it doesn't necessarily mean you can, because of all the other constraints around the vehicle. And that's the wheels, the brakes again, like I said, and probably other stuff as well that I have no idea. Now, inside this door, I'll be quiet because Jack's sleeping and on the boob. Hello. So this is what we looked at in the last video. So the permissive weight is 3.5 tons, the trailer weight, and then these 2 are your axles. Oh, sorry about that. Permissive weight, trailer weight, axles. So the two one there, going off the website, which I'll show you in a second, is what you can have in total. So that's 4,200, which is much more above the 3.5 ton. And this is when you do the uprating. This is when you change a couple of things to make sure that it works. I don't know if I have to change my brakes. As far as I'm aware, I just had to change the suspension. So I got in touch with these guys last year when we got the van, and we had these conversations. And essentially what they wanted us to do was either put on a triple leaf spring or put on the air suspension. Now you may have seen the air suspension. The air suspension is like the bubble. So you'll essentially add better suspension to the van, and that's the main thing you need to do to be able to carry above that 3.5 ton weight. Now, like we said before, 9 out of 10 vans can run on the 3.5 ton weight. It's just when you start being silly and adding roof bars and roof racks and boxes on the back and bull bars and lights and a full-size PC and a full-size screen and a massive water tank and a ridiculous amount of batteries, and these are the things that start to add more weight. Stuff like the live live edge worktop and things that have made it heavier that, you know, we could have avoided and really kept within the 3.5 ton. But whatever, right? Here we are. We're going for it. So yeah, let's jump inside the van and I'll show you the website that I've been looking at to do the uprating. Gotta be quiet, Zyra's in her lesson. Okay. All right, so Zara's in her lesson, so I'll be kind of quiet. So the website we've been looking at is a company called SV Tech. SV Tech. And on their site, they've got the motorhomes. Oops. You can give them a call, give them an email for a quick inquiry. But essentially what it says is, congratulations, you made your first step in knowing how to operate your motorhome legally, whether that's to increase the carrying capacity due to a limited weight or reduce the design weight, yada, yada, yada. The main reasons people use our motorhome services to either uprate or downrate is to either uprate or downrate. Now, uprating, the main reason for wanting to uprate is so that you can carry more load, better known as payload. Depending on the make model of your motorhome, you have uprating may be as simple as a converter's plate and a letter of declaration. Others may require actual physical changes, such as wheel, tyre, suspension modifications. We assess each vehicle individually, so download a conversion will complete any amount of post. Now this is what we did last year, and this is where we got to discussion around the suspension. Things to bear in mind when uprating your vehicle. Uprating above 3.5 tons changes taxation class from PLG to PHGV, so it does save you money. Motorhomes are covered as class 4 MOT regardless of weight, certain yada yada yada. Check against size, not weight. Under driving license requirements for vehicles above 3.5 to 7.5, you must either pass your C1 test or had a license, or you must have passed your test prior to 1997 or hold a C1 category. Uprating the gross weight may only solve part of your problems. You should also check individual axle load-ins to ensure you do not exceed the stated axle design limits. Now that's what we were just talking about. So the individual axles, the front and the back. Obviously, if you guys pass your test prior to 1997, you won't need to watch the other video. If you need to do your C1 license or above, I'll put a video link or in the description below. Take a little look at that. But yeah, essentially what you need to do is go through a process like this. So give these guys a call, let them know what vehicle you have. If you want to uprate, upplate, whatever you want to call it, they will then tell you what you need to do. So when we had the discussion, it was either do a triple leaf spring, which will get you to, like, I think it was just under 4 tons. I need to check this, but there's two categories. So I think the air suspension gives you more weight. The triple leaf spring gives you a little bit less, but it was enough. So yeah, you can go a type of suspension to upplate it, and that's kind of the process. Now this is a process we are still going through. It is a real pain in the bum because to change your vehicle from a panel van to a motorhome or a camper van, the DVLA, man, you got to do everything by post. So you've got to, like, check this, check the external 2 or more windows on the same side, a separate door, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. You got to download the checklist, print the checklist, and then you got to take a bunch of pictures, seats and a table, sleeping accommodation, cooking, storage, all this stuff. You have to take pictures, print the pictures. Who has a bloody printer these days? And then send off to them in the post. So obviously being in a van, it's kind of a pain. Obviously should have done this before, but we kind of had the van ready, left the house, yeah, and whatever. So we're still going through this process. But anyway, that is how you essentially uprate your van. Hopefully you found that useful. I'm, like I say on most of these videos at the moment, these are things I'm learning. these are questions I'm getting asked frequently, so I thought I'd drop a little video on it, and hopefully I can help you guys. As always, if there's more you want to ask, Instagram, Discord, all the links are below. Just come and message me, man. We've got a really nice community of van lifers sort of getting together now. Mainly van life gamers, but van lifers as well. So yeah, any questions, just ask away. And a massive thank you to you guys who have been subbing on Twitch. We have so many at the moment, and I've not even been able to stream much, so I feel bloody awful. We have a new solution coming, so we're going to have a new modem which will connect the Starlink and another 3G, 4G to another 4G modem. So we're going to have a triple leg internet on the go. Thank you Baggins and Gamgee for the recommendation. But if you guys who have subbed on Twitch, have become a member on the website, whoo, it's getting windy. Thank you all very much. We're going to keep trying to produce the videos on here. It's been a bloody blast so far, and I know we've got some amazing things planned for the rest of the year, so hopefully the weather stays good, not too windy. I don't want the van roof to blow away. Oh yeah, we got the hoodies as well. The hoodies are looking cool. But yeah, appreciate it very much. Oh, the tree's blowing away on the van. The plants, by the way. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.